Ladies and gentlemen, if I may have your attention, please. We are about to commence with the proceedings for this morning, so we would like to kindly request that we assume our seats so that we can allow the Executive Council to join us with the Premier. If we could please take our seats, and then we'll commence shortly with the program for this morning. Thank you.
I don't know better, and maybe I should try to start. Explain to me. I will listen. How you think it's fine to lie? Guess you look at it like an omission, and that may work for you, and you might fool me once, and I won't be the time to try to break my heart, or convince me that I don't know better, and maybe I should try to stop. So long you convinced me that we shouldn't be apart. First time, shame on you 2 times, shame on me 3 days. I waited, but you don't seem to come around, and I want to try to break my heart, or convince me that I don't know better, and maybe I should try to stop. So long you convince me that we shouldn't be apart, and there won't be a third time for you to try to break my heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, once more, I would like to request you to be seated. The Premier and the delegation will be joining us shortly. And as we do that, let me also take this opportunity just to advise you that we have the QR code that will give you access to today's program and the proceedings. So if you could please scan this so you have access to the program for this morning. It's found on the tables. Just allowing the last few moments for our guests to take their seats. Ladies and gentlemen, before we allow the Premier to join us, I request those guests who are still trying to find their seats to make way so that we could proceed accordingly. I do notice that we still have a couple of our guests who are yet to find their seats. We just welcomed the MECs joining us now. Before we welcome the host, the Premier of the province of KwaZulu-Natal, as we do this, we will behave ourselves well and do the networking in an orderly manner before we even officially commence with the program. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all rise and welcome the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Premier Thamsanqa Ntuli. Singamshayela ihlombe uNdunankulu as he walks to the stage. Well, Sisamile, as we stand, some exercise in the morning to help us start the day. Sisamile, I would like to invite you to join in reflecting on the values of freedom and unity, and we do so as patriotic citizens by joining in the singing of our national anthem with pride and respect. Nkosi Sikelel. Thank you. We may be seated. Good morning and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The program director for this morning is Alex Mtiane. And we are gathered here on invitation of the Premier of the province. After delivering the State of the Province address, there were commitments that he made to the people of KwaZulu-Natal. One that is fostering relationships with the stakeholders. And I think he may have reiterated it more than 10 times in the speech when he spoke about opportunities to create grounds for investment and also to ensure that we grow the economy of KZN through long-term and sustainable partnerships. So what we see unfolding today is the engagement with the industry leaders. So amongst the guests of the Premier this morning, we have the members of the Executive Council, the MECs, who will be acknowledged accordingly. And we also have the representative of the Diplomatic Corps, Mr. Gregory, who will be introduced later. He has a slot on the program. And we also have the co-chair of the KZN Growth Coalition. We have mayors present here. And we also have the Director General leading the civil servants in the province of KwaZulu-Natal and the HODs, as well as the Deputy Directors General. The CEOs of public entities are amongst us. They will have their contribution later on. And we also have the business chamber present, the business sector, the media. And ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome in this robust engagement. Before we can proceed with the event formally, it gives me great pleasure then to invite the member of the EXCO of eThekwini, the host municipality, Councillor Ntuli, to give us the welcoming remarks on behalf of the city. He will be here representing the mayor of eThekwini, Mpemba.
Program Director, Honourable Premier Thamsanqa Ntuli, all MECs present, all mayors and councillors present, leadership from business sector, Director General, Dr. Nonhlanhla Mkhize, and senior management, members of the media, good morning. Let me take this opportunity to welcome all of you to our beautiful city of Durban. From the outset, we'd like to thank the Premier for important program of engaging the business sector on the state of the provincial address. Such gatherings are crucial in galvanizing all relevant stakeholders to join hands for a common goal of the development and growing of the economy of KwaZulu-Natal. Ladies and gentlemen, as the leadership of the city, we welcome this engagement as it provides a platform of business to have meaningful input on how they will contribute toward realizing the commitment the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal has outlined in the state of the provincial address. Honourable Premier, would like to applaud you for tabling a SOPA that presents a crucial solution to the problem confronting our people in KwaZulu-Natal. You have to outline a clear plan on how are we going to create positive to the investors, climate in the province for rolling out bold crime fighting initiative. As eThekwini municipality, we'd like to work side by side with you to create a conducive environment for business to strive by providing quality services for both residentially and business. We want to ensure you that as we are addressing the issue of water challenges that are confronting us in this regard, as water business turnaround strategy plan that has been approved by National Treasurer is currently being implemented. At the heart of the turnaround plan, it's a commitment to address the revenue water, which is currently sitting at 54% loss. As the leadership of the city, we have agreed that we are identifying and fixing all water leaks in addressing the intermittent of water supply in the city. We've made it clear that moving forward, we want to account for every drop of water. To achieve this, we are going to implement a meter installation and replacement program. Most importantly, as to deploy technology to monitor our water infrastructure so that we'll be able to monitor water levels in the water mains and reservoirs. We are tracking to the program of implementing of this plan of our ESCO members meeting, and we have made it clear to the administration that if they will fail to implement this plan, consequence management will then be implemented. Last week, the council have adopted a mid-term adjustment budget. Over 400 million has been allocated to deal with water losses. To ensure that water security, we are implementing a long-term project, including the building of an upper dam Umkomazi, which is bringing additional water of 600 megaliters of water in the city. We are also exploring desalination and reuse initiatives in collaboration with the private sector. The mayor has started the process of engaging various stakeholders on this plan. Today, we are meeting with the taxpayers so that we are all in the same page on the strategies we are implementing to address water supply. In closing, we want to reiterate that the task of building better life for all the people of KwaZulu-Natal required a collaborative effort. We are strongly believing that it is only when we work together as social partners that we'll be able to address all developmental challenges that are confronting our people in the province. With this remark, we'd like to welcome all of you. We are looking forward to a meaningful and a fruitful deliberation. I thank you.
Thank you to Councillor Ntuli from the city of eThekwini. So we should listen attentively when our leaders speak. There was a line where the councillor said, together with the province of KwaZulu-Natal, we can foster meaningful partnership as a family, intergovernmental. So all in all, Mpemba, what you meant was this is a family affair from another Ntuli to another Ntuli. Siyabonga kakhulu. To support the Premier today, we have the members of the Provincial Executive Council. To us, ordinary people, we always refer to them as the cabinet. Please accept that ngeke sikushintshe kalula olimini. So we would like to introduce the MECs who are here. We have MEC waka Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, umhlonishwa uThelezi. We also have the pleasure of the MEC Waka Health, umhlonishwa uNomagugu Simelane Mngadi. I noticed that post-COVID, there is still a social distancing 3 years later. We also have the MEC Uzondi Waka Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs in Mfundisi. We also have MEC Rogers from Treasury. And we also have MEC Kaula from Sports, Arts and Culture. As well as MEC Umeya, Public Works and Infrastructure. Coincidentally, we don't have anyone referred in the podium as the mayor of, otherwise we would have confused our guest, MEC Mayor. Siyabonga. We have a slight tweak to our program. I had requested that we use the quick response code so we could scan and be in line with the proceedings. And please, out of courtesy, be advised that joining us here, the broader community of KZN, if not the world at large, they are also joining us thanks to technology and social media. The proceedings are being streamed on all the provincial government's platform. We were going to have an item later on which would reflect the commitment by the stakeholders. It's very crucial because this is when they pledge their support post the presentation done by the Premier. However, we have had to make slight changes. So the chairperson of the KZN Growth Coalition is going to give us his presentation now before we allow the MEC to reflect and introduce the Premier. So that's the slight change on the program, which therefore gives me the honor to welcome Mr. Moses Tembe, who is the co-chair of the Growth Coalition, to give us the support as well as the reflection on behalf of their stakeholders. Bonas.
Program Director, Honourable Premier, Godide, MECs, traditional leaders, mayors, leadership of business sector, leadership of civil society, and representatives of workers, investors, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Let me kick off by extending a word of gratitude to the Premier and his team for inviting the business fraternity. Would also like to thank you so much for the opportunity and honor to say a few words on behalf of the business community. I have been asked to give a message of support. Our presence this morning symbolizes support for the State of the Province address you eloquently delivered last month. As business, we are quite comfortable with areas of focus, very comfortable. Honourable Premier, since you took office, we've been in awe of your efforts toward inspiring hope and ensuring safety of your citizens, working in good partnership with the KZN Commissioner, Major General Mkhwanazi. Time does not allow me to render a critical analysis of the state of the province address. Safe to say, business is fully aligned with your goals and ready to give you much needed support. Before I take my seat, I thought one must reflect on the reasons why business is here this morning. We would like to be part of every effort in this province that is aimed at creating a prosperous KZN society. Prosperous can be defined as a flourishing, thriving, or successful condition. We are here because we believe the future of KwaZulu-Natal can be better than the present. Business, government, civil society, and unions must strengthen a social compact that fosters economic growth, job creation, workforce development, infrastructure development, and fiscal responsibility. Fiscal responsibility. Premier, when people steal, there is no budget. Remember that. Would like to grow the economy of KZN and develop its people as a mainstay focus area in order to begin to deal with unemployment effectively. Those who are in the construction sector will tell you how critical a solid foundation is. A strong foundation is required whether you are building your family home, a business, government, or society. It is our belief that we must begin to worry seriously about below standard fabric and values that permeate our society. Civil societies, leaders need to begin to account for that fabric of society. It must be said that government, I dare say the police, correctional services, are just a variable in the equation of getting the society right. We definitely must get into the core of challenges that have actually put the fabric of society below the carpet. If we can't get that right, the house that we are trying to build, siyakhela nje izeleze. Other issues that constitute that solid foundation, we could talk about the political stability, which is always a top of mind issue for business people. As business, we always deal with the card that we are dealt with. We now have the GPU and have got a responsibility as business to recognize it, respect it, because that is the card we are dealt with. We've got a responsibility to make sure that it works, because if a problem arises at that level, it begins to introduce instability, which we cannot afford as we build this prosperous society. We continue to worry about the issue of state capability, confidence in the business environment, and security for all citizens. These are some of the foundational pillars that we must get right as society. Let me also deal with another soft issue. I think as social partners, we must begin to take the issue of focus very seriously. We must focus on matters that matter in order to grow the economy of this province and develop the people of our beautiful province. And diligence. Diligence is an attribute that is critical if you were to succeed in anything that you do. Diligence is one value that we must inculcate. Diligence in soft issues like organizational skills, punctuality, and as they say, if you take care of the small things, the big things will take care of themselves. I must also address the issue of equity because it's quite a topical issue. Equity, as you know it, requires no definition. It's a process of fairness in society. The idea that we could wake up today and pretend the playing fields have been leveled in our society is quite ludicrous. We all have to put our hands on deck to ensure inclusive economic growth so as to create more opportunities and enable upward mobility and prosperity for the majority of our people. Business continue to appreciate government's effort aimed at ensuring implementation of wider public-private partnerships in the provision and delivery of critical infrastructure. Premier, would like to report to you that the pledges, investment pledges that were made by business last year are quite on track. Finally, I must say something about education and skills development that is aligned to industry. There's a direct connection between increased educational opportunities, productive skills development, and social progress and prosperity, since the expansion of human achievement and knowledge is directly proportional to people's refined lifestyle and comfortability. To achieve all the things that we are talking about and all the good things that were highlighted in the State of the Nation address, I just want to end up by saying it is not the ship so much as the skillful sailing that assures the prosperous voyage, quote unquote. Premier, I truly want to apologize for leaving early. We've lost our cousin, Jablan Dembe. I've got to go and preside over that final send-off. Thank you very much. We would like to congratulate you on a well-delivered State of the Nation address. Be assured of our support. We stand fully behind you and all the MECs and all those who must put their hands on deck to make sure that we deliver a prosperous KZN. Thank you.
The words of support from the business community delivered by Mr. Moses Tembe, a key stakeholder, from the appeal that the Premier made when he presented his address. It's only been a couple of days and he has already received pleasures from other sectors. So Mr. Tembe here was reflecting, also taking us back to what had happened in the past financial year. So we thank you so much for those remarks. Angazi-ke yini bisiyenzeka kuleli tafula sekuchitheka inkomishi ngabona ukuthi makuziwe emcimbini kaNdunankulu aya amadoda ayaqina impela. Ngibonile ukuthi hayi khona indoda eqinile lapha. Kwavele kwachitheka inkomishi nje esikhaleni. Mphemba amadoda aqinile lapha. Siyabonga. The Premier will soon unpack his address and give context. But to do that, we must also have the MEC who will give the remarks as the MEC responsible for one of the key portfolios, one department that houses a number of key entities. He is going to give us his reflection briefly. And then after that, he will then introduce our host, the Premier of the province. I now invite MEC Musa Zondi, who is the MEC for Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs. Nondaba.
Program Director, Mr. Alex Mtiane, the Honourable the Premier, Mr. Thamsanqa Ntuli, MEC for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, the Reverend Thulasizwe Buthelezi, MEC for Health, Ms. Nomagugu Simelane Mngadi, MEC for Treasury, Francois Rogers, MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture, Domhle Kaula, MEC for Public Works, Martin Meyer, Director General, Dr. Nonhlanhla Mkhize, and other heads of government departments present here, as well as CEOs of our various entities present, the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, His Excellency Mr. Alain Green Ngori, Councillor Thembo Ntuli of eThekwini Metro, who welcomed us here on behalf of His Worship, the Mayor of eThekwini, the co-chairperson of KZN Growth Coalition, Mr. Moses Tembe, who has just left, captains of industry, business leaders and leaders of the labor movement present, other government representatives, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and my pleasure to welcome you to this engagement, which brings together important business players and leaders of the KwaZulu-Natal Government of Provincial Unity. We thank the Honourable the Premier for creating a platform such as this one, a platform that gives us the crucially important opportunity for us all to reflect on the State of the Province address. The address last week laid out a bold and ambitious vision for KwaZulu-Natal, a vision grounded in economic recovery, inclusive growth, and resilience. The Premier emphasized the importance of accelerating service delivery, rebuilding investor confidence, and driving sustainable development. I'm sure that these are important takeaways from the State of the Province address, but there are more. These takeaways are both relevant to us as government role players, as well as business leaders gathered here this morning. For us, as the Department of Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs, it gave us very clear pointers and a strategic direction that we should follow and emphasize upon in working towards the economic development of the province of KwaZulu-Natal, so that we can achieve the goals of inclusive growth, job creation, and the reduction of poverty. This means redoubling our efforts in the following 3 areas. 1, enterprise and SMME support. This we will do by expanding access to funding, reducing red tape, and strengthening township and rural economies in order to ensure that small businesses can also thrive. 2, it means investment and industrialization. We will do this by promoting key sectors such as manufacturing, logistics, and renewable energy, while ensuring that infrastructure development supports business growth. And thirdly, tourism revival and promotion. We'll do this by leveraging our unique tourism assets, which we have in abundance in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, so that we can position KwaZulu-Natal as a top destination of choice with targeted initiatives to boost township and cultural tourism. In this regard, the Dube Tradeport CEO is working tirelessly in negotiations with other countries of strategic importance, both in our region of SADC and elsewhere, to establish new direct flight routes into King Shaka Airport, which is a crucial step in enhancing connectivity and attracting international visitors to our province. These negotiations are now in their final stages, marking a significant milestone in strengthening KwaZulu-Natal's position as a global tourism and business destination. We will also focus on economic transformation in order to enhance opportunities for previously disadvantaged entrepreneurs, as well as aspirant entrepreneurs, in order to ensure a more inclusive economy, so that no one is left behind. We as government, of course, cannot do this alone without the crucial roles of business and the labor sector. Even though we, as business, as government, are a significant player in the economy, we are mindful of the fact that our main task as government remains that of creating a conducive climate for business to thrive and to flourish. Ours is to underscore the importance of promoting both mainstream businesses and the SMME sector, which are crucial to promote the broadest participation of all our communities in optimum productive economic activities. So to you, members of the business community, rest assured that we regard you to be the backbone of our economy in this province of KwaZulu-Natal. Your resilience and innovation drives growth, it drives employment, and it also drives development. As government, we are committed to strengthening our partnership with you, and this means that we have a duty to continually address policy uncertainties that impact negatively on the investments that you make and that you have pledged to make. Secondly, it also means that we have to be constantly improving the ease of doing business in KZN, particularly around working on regulatory processes in both the liquor and the gambling industries. And we have got to collaborate on initiatives that will unlock opportunities in high growth industries, which are too numerous for me to mention here. So your insights, challenges, and successes are critical as we refine our approaches to economic development. So I encourage you to engage robustly with us as we actively look for solutions that truly reflect the realities of doing business in our province. The State of the Province Address enjoined us to create and maintain an investor-friendly environment in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, so that we can continue to ensure our competitive edge as a province and to remain progressive in our contribution to the GDP that we make to the country, as KwaZulu-Natal is the second contributor to the highest contributor to the GDP of the country. And we must keep it that way with a view to improving that reality so that someday we can become the #1 contributor among the provinces of the country. With that said, it is now my distinct honor, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce to you the leader who is spearheading the vision for a prosperous KwaZulu-Natal, for a safe KwaZulu-Natal, for a stable KwaZulu-Natal, a leader who is committed to fostering a safer, more business-friendly and economically dynamic province. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, the Honourable Thamsanqa Ntuli.
Thank you. You may be seated. I wish to thank the program director for the opportunity, and the Oral MEC Reverend Zondi for the inputs that he has just made, and also allowing me to ascend to the stage. I must first and foremost greet the oral members of the Executive Council, Oral MEC for Sports, Arts and Culture, Oral MEC Kaula, the Oral MEC for Kokta, Oral MEC Reverend Ebtelezi, the Oral MEC for Health, Oral MEC Smelane Mngadi, the Oral MEC for Finance, Oral MEC Rogers, and Oral MEC for Public Works and Infrastructure, Oral MEC Martin Meyer. I must also extend my greetings to His Excellency, Mr. Alain Ekrin-Gorin, the Dean of Diplomatic Corps, and all members of the Diplomatic Corps who are present today. The acting mayor of eThekwini in this session, Honourable Councillor Ntuli, who's an ESCO member and a portfolio chair of the Economic Development and Planning Committee in eThekwini Metro. Your Worship, the Mayor is present. His Worship, the Mayor, Councillor S.Z. Dlamini, from King Cetshwayo District Municipality. His Worship, the Mayor, Mchangase, from Ulundi, City of Heritage, local municipality. And I heard that there is also the Mayor of Reinkonyeni, local municipality. I wish to also greet him, Councillor Z. Mzinje. He's here, is Simo here? He's here. Thank you very much. There's also a member of the provincial legislature present, the chairperson of the portfolio responsible for a very important infrastructure for our economy to be able to move. The chairperson of the portfolio for transport, Honourable Mapisa. The Director General, Dr. Mkhize, the head of departments, and the Deputy Director Generals present. The advisors to the Premier, Mr. Mdaga and Mr. Kwala, the CEOs of public entities, Mr. Moses Tembe, who has just left, business chambers, council, business leaders present here. If I had time, in fact, I was going to acknowledge each and everyone because I'm recognizing some of the faces. My friend, Mr. Reddy, and many friends I'm able to recognize present here today. Members of the media, the police who are part of this important session, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. On the 28th February 2025, I delivered the State of the Province address, referred to as the SOPA, where I outlined the program of our provincial government over the unfolding year. The SOPA 2025 was the first of the 7th administration, and it coincided with the start of the 2025-2026 financial year. Ladies and gentlemen, the province of KwaZulu-Natal government has taken a number of measures, such as strategic investments, policy certainty, and enhanced safety and security, which are meant to create a business-friendly environment. I think you will agree with us that apart from talking about it, we are walking the talk. We are working tirelessly to ensure that we present a safer province for conducive business activities and even for the people of this province. We have seen us participating in a number of operations last year, even during the festive season. We did not have holidays because we wanted to ensure that we are working towards a safer province of KwaZulu-Natal. And I must state that this year, more is going to be seen. More operations. We are targeting criminals all over, all types of crimes. We are targeting it. Recently, in Umzinyathi district, we have confiscated many illegal firearms, even the AK-47s. Some were arrested. Some had to face the bullet because they tried to fight the police. We are confident that the leadership of the Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Ntahla Mkhwanazi, and the district commissioners, working with the entire management of SAPS and the police themselves, they are quite motivated to do their work. The environment in KwaZulu-Natal is actually supporting the police to execute their work diligently. And we are confident that more of the operations that are on the way, they are going to root out elements of criminality in our province of KwaZulu-Natal. We are doing that for you. And we are doing that for even the prospective investors, that they must come to KwaZulu-Natal. One of the key focal areas of our term will be to drive robust trade and investment, ensuring that this province becomes the premier destination for industrial expansion and global commerce. In that case, I had an extensive engagement with the MEC for ATIA, Honorable Reverend Zondi, to expedite the implementation of the KwaZulu-Natal Investment fully fledged office. That will help to support current and prospective investments and to mitigate the bottlenecks in any process leading to desirable outcomes of investment. And we are in agreement that that is quite very urgent. It's quite very urgent. As announced during the State of the Province address, in fact, the State of the Nation's address by His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa this last month, the adoption of the medium-term development plan signals a clear and ambitious roadmap for our country the next 5 years. This plan seeks to drive inclusive growth, economic growth, and create jobs, reduce poverty, and address the high cost of living. Build a capable, ethical, and developmental state. In KwaZulu-Natal, our 8 priorities for the 5 years have been outlined as follows. Rebuilding the economy. That's priority number 1. Strengthening local government and governance. We have a view that if our local government is strengthened, it will be quite very easy for businesses to flourish. The issue of the infrastructure in local government, I think I'm happy by the honesty that Honourable Councillor Ntuli, in his presentation, in fact, just presented here about the state of water in eThekwini and the plans which are there. I must confirm that I visited eThekwini to have a sit-down meeting with His Worship the Mayor Kaba to talk about the problem, because I wanted to know how are we going to resolve the problem, and not only to know how and when, and to even know the budget required. And I'm calling upon business to come on board and support the, in fact, intentions, good intentions by eThekwini. Where is possible, let us also invest in our infrastructure. Whenever we are invited to collaborate, let us do so. Because when we realize the turnaround in the current situation, you see, our businesses will be in an environment really that will be supportive, that will be supporting growth. Skangane, our program director, One of the 8 objectives is the sustainable development. Yesterday in the cabinet, we have confirmed Uthugela as another special economic zone, because we want to ensure that the growth is realized and the development is realized all over the province of KwaZulu-Natal. We still have much too many opportunities in this province of investment. The other one is improving health care and education, delivering better human settlement and infrastructure, improving community safety, mitigating climate change, building a capable, ethical, and developmental state. In pursuit of these economic objectives, KwaZulu-Natal is rolling out an integrated, multifaceted plan that will intensify investment and trade facilitation whilst growing the investor confidence. Our approach includes plans for direct district level engagements with the business sector and other stakeholders to unlock localized economic potential, outbound business missions, targeting key global markets, and hosting inbound missions to showcase investment-ready opportunities. Bilateral engagements will also be strengthened to expand trade corridors, while the establishment of the provincial project brokering unit will streamline the facilitation of large-scale investments led by Trade Investment KZN. The revised provincial integrated trade and investment strategy will certainly guide our province to high growth sectors, emerging markets, as well as localization opportunities. Well, I recorded the concern by the business prior to the SOPA that we are worried of the competition that is posing threat to the manufacturing initiatives that are local. And we will be addressing that because it's a very important area that require our attention. Even at a national level, we will, in fact, talk about it so that we find a way that will really ensure that the competition which is posed to the production in our province is fair. Recognizing the role of special economic zones, the SEZs of Richards Bay and Dube Trade Port, we are bolstering their competitiveness through National Development of Trade and Investment competition, the DTIC incentives, infrastructure enhancement, operational and regulatory efficiencies. These zones are being positioned as key drivers of industrialization, exports, growth, and employment creation. Our focus is on ensuring that SEZs become magnets for both local and international capital, driving sustainable economic growth, with particular on manufacturing and localization. Infrastructure development remains the cornerstone of our economic revitalization strategy. In partnership with national government and relevant agencies, we are accelerating investment in rail, road, water, and energy infrastructure to create a seamless, efficient, and resilient economic network. These enhancements will reduce logistical bottlenecks, improve supply chain efficiency, and lower the cost of doing business in the province, making KwaZulu-Natal an even more attractive investment destination. Air connectivity is another key pillar of our economic strategy. With 7 international and regional air carriers now flying directly into KwaZulu-Natal, including the recent addition of Air Botswana providing access to Windhoek and Gaborone, we are strengthening trade and tourism linkages globally. I know that some of the business groups, business leaders, and some of our residents, they've really urged us as provincial government to ensure that we facilitate, in fact, more direct flights to KwaZulu-Natal. I think that is part of our priorities, Honourable MEC Zondi, as you have quite clearly outlined it. The enhanced air accessibility means greater market reach, improved investor mobility, and an increase in high-value trade activities. A conducive business environment cannot be achieved without safety and security. We are making significant strides in combating crime and ensuring the rule of law prevails. Our collaboration with law enforcement agencies, private security firms, and business chambers has resulted in a more coordinated and intelligence-driven approach to crime prevention. Targeted interventions are being rolled out in high-risk commercial zones, ensuring that businesses operate in a secure and stable environment. I must say, this morning, we will receive updates from investors who pledged their commitment to our province at the KZN Investment Conference in November 2024. The 17 projects recorded at the conference represent a combined 85.2 billion in actually committed investment pledges. These projects will generate over 82,271 permanent jobs once fully operational, with additional employment opportunities created during the construction phase. The projects are a mix of greenfield developments, which are new fixed investments, and brownfield projects, which involved company expansions. Of the total 11 projects, which is 65%, fall under greenfield developments, while such projects, 35%, are categorized as brownfield expansions. These investments are spread across key priority sectors, including property development, tourism, logistics, green energy, and manufacturing. While significant progress has been made in advancing these projects towards the construction and operational phases, I am aware that several challenges remain, necessitating government intervention. To this end, Department of Economic Development, Tourism, and Environmental Affairs, through Trade and Investment KwaZulu-Natal and KZN Growth Coalition, representing private sector, are working together on more structured mechanism to unlock and clear any delays associated with each of these projects. Hence, I said for the future, we need a permanent, fully fledged investment office in our province. I must also applaud the Presidential eThekwini Working Group for the good work, in fact, they are doing here to support this province, because the only metro we have is eThekwini. And to really turn around eThekwini, I think we're all seeing some changes. They might be not as huge as we want to see them, but there is quite a significant progress. The commitment from both investors and the government to resolve these matters will ensure that these projects reach their full potential, driving economic growth and job creation across the province. Today's engagement with key investors is a demonstration of our commitment to drive a pro-business environment, ensuring that every pledge made translates into tangible economic benefits for the people of KwaZulu-Natal. In this regard, our annual investment conference will take place early November 2025 as a build-up activity to the G20 summit. Later this year, South Africa will host the G20 presidency only 5 years before the deadline of the United Nations 2030 agenda, with the world facing overlapping and mutually reinforcing a crisis, included climate change, underdevelopment, inequality, poverty, hunger, unemployment, technological changes, and geopolitical instability. To tackle the globally poly crisis, South Africa has embraced the theme solidarity, equality, sustainability. For our country's G20 presidency, the high-level deliverables and priorities under this theme lie at the core of the original G20 mandate of promoting strong, sustainable, balanced, and inclusive growth. Our international relations strategy is being reinforced through strengthened diplomatic engagements. These efforts are crucial in attracting foreign direct investment, fostering strategic partnerships, and ensuring that KwaZulu-Natal remains globally competitive. By deepening our ties with the diplomatic corps and international business networks, we are opening new trade avenues and investment pipelines. To this end, we have held engagements with the diplomatic corps based both in Durban and Gauteng, and this will continue to be driven in order to ensure a closer relationship is built to drive meaningful change in our respective economies. KwaZulu-Natal will continue with our international engagements on the African continent, in other parts of the world. We are particularly in doing our bit to drive the Africa Agenda 2063 that imagines a better, competitive, and developed continent in the next 40 years. The journey ahead demands a focused execution, strategic partnerships, and a shared commitment to promote a high-growth economic environment. KwaZulu-Natal is open for business, and we are committed to creating an ecosystem where investment thrives, industries expand, and economic prosperity reaches every corner of our province. but we cannot walk that journey alone. We need you as strategic partners so that we realize a better future for all the businesses in KwaZulu-Natal and the residents of this province. Our office is open for depositing ideas. Don't be silent when you see something not going right. And I must affirm before you, we will do everything to ensure that we have a safer province in KwaZulu-Natal. And we will fight corruption. In this province of KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much for that presentation. The Premier unpacking his State of the Nation address. He highlighted a number of key areas and the milestones with timelines, particularly on fostering growth, investment, and alleviation of poverty. Also acknowledging the role that the stakeholders will play in this. Hence, he had to highlight what law enforcement is doing to support a good business environment. Thank you so much, Mpemba, for that presentation. Another round of applause for Ndunankulu. You will notice that we already have the hostesses distributing the catalogs containing the presentation with images based on the presentation by the Premier. But understanding that we overly subscribed. Remember, earlier on, I did make an announcement that we have a QR code that we need to utilize in order for us to have the electronic access to these documents and many others. Please make use of those. As we digest, ladies and gentlemen, it allows me then a great pleasure to announce that we will take our status now. And we have 15 to 20 minutes allocated for that. And then when we resume after that, we will then have commitment presentations as well as delving into the commitments made. So we will break for the status for the next 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you very much. The starters will be served at the foyer. then you can come back to your respective places. Thank you.
I still hang around. Neither lost nor found. Hear the lone With music in the night, nights are always bright. That's all that's left for me. I play the street life because there's no place I can go. Street life, it's the only life I know. Street life, and there's 1,000 parts to play. Street life, will you play your life away? You let some people see just who you wanna be, and every night you shine just like a superstar. That's how my life is played, a tempting masquerade. You dress, you walk, you talk, you're who you think you are. Street life, you can run away from time. Street life, for a nickel or a dime. Street life, but you better not get old. Street life, or you're gonna feel the cold. There's always love for sale, a grown-up fairy tale. Prince Charming always smiles behind a silver spoon. And if you keep it down, your sun is always out. Your love will pay your way beneath the silver moon. Street life, street life, street life. Because there's no place I can go. Street life, it's the only life I know. Street life, there's 1,000 parts to play. Street life, until you play your life away. Oh!
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to proceed. We still have two more crucial items on the proceedings for this morning. So I would like us to proceed. If I could ask the guests right at the back, you may come in with whatever you have on your hand. We have the tables to help us do both. Engage, network as we proceed with the program of the morning. The next speaker is going to be the head Dean of a Diplomatic Corps, His Excellency Mr. Gregory, who's going to give us his message of support. You'd recall earlier we had Mr. Dembe from KZN Growth Coalition giving us his words of support. So Mr. Gregory will also deliver his. I would kindly request that we lower the tone of our voices so that we can proceed in a decent manner. Mr. Gregory, over to you. Thank you.
Honourable Premier, Honourable MECs, all mayors, all leadership, distinguished guests and esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Honourable Premier, the Corps acknowledges the focus points you mentioned at your State of the Province speech and that you currently have in motion. Rebuilding, growing the economy, creating jobs, strengthening local government and governance, sustainable development, improving healthcare and education, delivering better human settlement and infrastructure, improving community safety, mitigating climate change, building a capable ethical province, and reducing poverty and tackling high living costs. The Diplomatic Corps shares the same concern as you, Honourable Premier, towards crime and gender-based violence. Honourable Premier and your good team of MECs, ministers, the Corps fully recognises the change that you guys have done in the last 8 months. Definitely a round of applause. In Durban, we currently have 34 consulates, which is a record high for the last 2 years. KwaZulu-Natal is the province in South Africa currently with the highest number of consulates. This clearly shows the importance of KwaZulu-Natal. All 34 consulates in the Diplomatic Corps of KwaZulu-Natal are keen to further develop their bilateral relations with the Premier's Office of KwaZulu-Natal and all various government departments throughout KZN. Honourable Premier, the Diplomatic Corps of KwaZulu-Natal fully recognises your immense efforts to attract international investment into KwaZulu-Natal. We also recognise your deep commitment to accelerating economic growth, improved healthcare and education, and your fight with crime and unemployment are underlined once again. We also see your office as being responsive, transparent, and driven by needs of your citizens. The 34 consulates promote some of the following: investment, commercial, economic, cultural, educational, scientific, various relations, including sports and tourism, and many others. We are here to serve both foreign and South African companies seeking to expand their bilateral interest and to create a professional network in KZN. This will further promote investment and create business opportunities in KZN. We are here to build bridges between communities within the city and international partners, both with the provincial and local Department of International Relations in KZN. These important engagements are to strengthen the bilateral relations as well as the cultural exchange relations, and to strengthen our relation between ourselves and once again the Premier's office in KZN, which is all shared on common values and to promote common interests between us. KwaZulu-Natal, a vibrant province, is more than just a place on the map. It is a convergence of cultures, landscapes, and opportunities. Our unique selling points resonate far beyond our borders. The diplomatic corps continues to contribute to the KwaZulu-Natal's prosperity. The corps actively promotes KZN's investments, all opportunities on the global stage. We highlight the province of KwaZulu-Natal as the second largest contributor to the South African GDP, and its strategic location, natural resources, and business-friendly policies. By showcasing KZN's potential, we attract foreign investors who seek stable markets and growth prospects. The diplomatic corps serves as bridges between KZN and international investors. We facilitate introductions, provide market insights, and create conducive environment for investment. Our networks really extend beyond borders, connecting KZN businesses with potential partners worldwide. In addition, economic growth is a shared goal where through our channels, we advocate for policies that foster innovation, entrepreneurship, and sustainable development. Whether it's supporting infrastructure projects or advocating for trade agreements, we work tirelessly to boost KZN's economic trajectory. We continue to engage in dialogues with regional organizations and multilateral bodies. Collaboration is our currency, and therefore we facilitate knowledge exchange, joint ventures, and capacity building initiatives. Together, we want to amplify KZN on the global economic stage. We need to deepen partnerships, exchange best practices, and learn from successful models worldwide. By doing so, we create a robust ecosystem for trade and investment. Dialogue shares policy. It removes barriers and fosters trust. Let us engage in conversations that lead to action. KZN's story is our potential, our resilience, and must resonate across continents. Our embassies and consulates have abilities to give information and to contribute to targeted trade missions, bringing KZN businesses directly to potential markets. Through the diplomatic channels, preferential trade agreements, tariff reductions, and streamlined custom procedures are formed. We further collaborate with private sector, academia, and civil society to launch compelling campaigns that showcase KZN's unique selling points. We tell the world about KZN's innovative hubs, agribusiness potential, tourism, and gems. The Corps can facilitate knowledge transfer by connecting KZN institution with international experts. Training programs, academic exchange, empower local talent to drive economic growth. Economic growth must uplift all. Women entrepreneurs, small businesses, marginalized communities, they all matter. Inclusive partnership ensure prosperity reaches every corner of our province. Honourable Premier, we, the Diplomatic Corps, are ready to contribute immensely in all of these facets, so that in turn we can help shape KZN's future. In conclusion, let us shape KZN's future, a future where collaborative approaches ignite growth, where international relations thrive, and where the province of KwaZulu-Natal stands tall on the global stage. KZN's future prosperity hinges on our collective efforts. The Diplomatic Corps stands ready to champion KZN's cause, advocate for its interest, and build bridges that span continents. Let us collaborate, innovate, and transform KZN into a beacon of economic resilience and opportunity. May our shared commitment lead to a thriving KwaZulu-Natal for generations to come. Working closely with our South African government officials and colleagues, we certainly can all move forward together, and together we will achieve our goal. I thank you.
Thank you very much. I had to confirm the pronunciation of his surname, Mr. Krengwa, speaking here and reflecting on behalf of the Diplomatic Corps. Thank you very much. Inspiring words indeed. The Premier had alluded to the investment conference that was held in November. So the next speaker now is going to give us the update on the progress report on the commitments that had been made in November at that conference. So I would like then to invite Mr. Sihlengamu, who is the Chief Executive of the investment promotion entity, Trade and Investment KZN, to come and lead that process for us. Mr. Ngamu. The first video will play now, gents, if we could. Thank you.
I'm feeling very great. Really has been a successful conference. We have seen a lot of excitement from people in terms of firstly being able to create some linkages, but also the second part being able to get information, and very important information in terms of the development at the port.
For the people of KwaZulu-Natal, this initiative will in fact deliver new opportunities, job opportunities. We have decided to prioritize this kind of an initiative this moment so that we expedite the agenda of the inclusive economic growth and job creations.
The thing that impressed me the most is the realization that if we want the economic growth in South Africa that we need, and in this province that we need, it's a collaborative effort of government and the private sector. And the government's job is to make it easy for investors to invest.
And I can confidently say that if you look at the unique players together, working all for the same goal, the investment amounts that have come in, the smallest investor putting 800 million into the local area, there's absolutely nothing that we can't achieve as a team.
Those pledges are quite encouraging for me because then it says to me there's going to be a lot of job opportunities for our citizens and in so doing, especially the youth. And in so doing, from the crime perspective, we might have less of problems as a police because majority of the youth might be employed, and if they're employed, there's going to be less crime.
Information coming from the police that actually this place is safer to invest in. So there won't be any disturbances and disruptions in terms of the construction of the projects.
It's been a very good conference, I think, for KZN generally. I think a lot of discussion around things that are working, things that need to be possibly changed in order to bring about effective investment in the province.
Yeah, when we closed off the conference yesterday, which was the first day, the pledges were sitting at 75.8 billion. And today, as we've just closed the conference now, there was a surprise for everyone else, wherein we've got another 9.5 billion. And that should up our investment pledges for this particular conference. And we're looking forward to a conference for the South African Investment Conference of the President next year in March 2025. And there, as KZN, we're going to be going almost with close to 150 billion. And we will push for that particular target. We'd like to thank the support from our Honourable Premier, who supported us from the onset for us to host this particular conference. The support from the MEC of Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs, MEC Reverend Musa Zondi, who also was very much behind the program and supporting and influencing the program to happen the way it happened. But also we want to thank our sponsors, our valued sponsors who came in and kind of like financially supported the program, and they came in numbers to really support this program over the past 2 days. And with that, we are saying, let us collaborate. The public-private partnership is exactly what's going to take this particular province forward.
I'm filled with a great sense of optimism at your overwhelming turnout, and therefore I want to thank you from the very bottom of my heart on behalf of all the people of KwaZulu-Natal for your being invested in driving the economy of this province forward.
Program Director, Baba Tiane, Honourable Premier, Honourable Members of Executive Council, KZN Growth Coalition Co-Chair in absentia, members of Diplomatic Corps, led by Dean Mr. Gringwa, all mayors present, DG of the province of KwaZulu-Natal, all HODs, CEOs of public entities, captains of industry, all stakeholders, including media. Honourable Premier, that video was a reflection on what you already presented in your SOPA and also unpacked this morning. Whilst we were excited, Honourable Premier, on the day, but we were quickly reminded that the work started on that day. And that work was a work of ensuring that those projects that were pledged are actually becoming a realization on the ground, and then realizing the impact of job creation as well as the impact of economic growth. We had set a target as government, together with private sector, a target of 24 months, that the 17 projects that were announced, within 24 months, those projects would have touched the ground, would have commenced with construction. It was an ambitious target that we had set together with the private sector. And here today, Honourable Premier, we are here to account. It thrills me that out of 17 projects that were committed, 14 of them have already commenced with construction. 3 of those projects are at a planning phase, Honourable Premier. Today we will receive update on the 10 projects that have commenced construction. Out of the 10, 2 representatives could not be with us physically here because of other commitments. I will then do the run of their videos. They sent us videos that indicate the progress on their projects. We'll just run those 2 videos. Otherwise, then the other 10 projects are represented by their responsible and relevant persons who would come on stage to account Honourable Premier, so that I don't say it on behalf of government. They must say it themselves. You saw them signing there, they must come now and account. Honourable Premier, you indicated that there will be an investment conference again in 2025, early November. We take up that challenge, but I must indicate that in November 2024, we invited Gauteng province to our conference. Immediately after they left our province, having learned that we achieved 82.5 billion, they then planned their conference. And their conference is on the 3rd of April this year. And they have set themselves a target of 300 billion to achieve as pledges. What is interesting and exciting is that their adverts actually for the conference are mostly found in KZN. If you go to the airport, you see the advert for the conference everywhere. We are excited about that. They've also invited us. We'll go to Gauteng on the 3rd of April. What is good is that our conference is in November. It's going to be a constructive competition, Honourable MEC, and private sector is here to commit even more than 300 billion, which is their target. I will now go on and proceed. Start with the video, MEC of Honourable Premier of West Town Shongeni Development, with the 15 billion investment to give us about 8,500 jobs. Continue, please. I think we have seen a snapshot of that work in construction. I will now call upon stage for 3 minutes presentation, Mulman Group, and Dr. Sihle Ndlovu will be doing a presentation on behalf of Mulman Group. Kajen. Because of time, we would like to limit all the speakers to really 3 minutes, providing highlights on the progress of the projects. Thank you so much.
Program Director, Honourable Premier, Honourable MECs, and Director General, and the CEOs and all HODs and business leaders. My name is Sihle Ndlovu. I work with Mulman. I'm a shareholder, and we currently developing a Prince Buthelezi Mall. We're very honored as well, the name of the mall to be named after the icon, who's well respected internationally. It was eye-opener when we started the process of working with the family and working with the foundation, you know, the exchange of gifts to start that process. The development is at Mpangeni. It's a 42,000 square meter with 140 stores. We started last year, October. The classification is a regional shopping center. And the aim, you know, with the challenges of the rain, we're hoping that will open in April because we started in last year, October. And I might upload the city of Mhlathuze. You know, I bumped into the former city manager. We started this process last year. Within 3 months with the Honourable Mayor, Ngwezi, all the processes, regulation, it was done. So we already started, as I said. You know, we've got a PLO that is sitting at the office of the speaker to make sure that in that 1 billion development, 100 million will be done through local and also through development of, jobs as well. So I will upload to the city of Mhlathuze for the support that they've given us to be within 3 months, because when you develop a shopping center, you've got 140 leases. You know, we've got 7 anchor tenants, we've got Checkers, we've got Clicks, we've got Woolworths, Boxer, ShopRite, Discount that are committed to start as of 1st of April. And in terms of within the center, we're going to build a taxi rank and then a large entertainment area with kids play area. So we'll attract people from Duba, Lundi, not to come to Baleto. So we're putting the state of the art in Bangin. So there'll be ample free parking and safe, secure, air-conditioned shopping center and modern design and finishes. And I must say, Honourable Premier as well, the support that KZN has given us is the second development. We've got Fryhead that was opened in October for 800 million. And after Fryhead, they said they want to invest more. And I know we're looking at other places as well, because they are based in Johannesburg, but they identify KZN as a growth through the support that has been given by government. In terms of job creation, as we started last year, October, we're going to create almost about 1,000 jobs during construction and approximately 2,000 permanent jobs once the mall open for trade next year, April. It was great to see Ubabumbili lapha transport, because, you know, when you're building the mall, you need to widen the road and you need to widen the bridges. So we're going to invest in that as well, because so that it can be easy for access to the mall. But the upgrade and infrastructure will be done. And the rates and taxes, a long-term sustainability income for the city of Mhlathuze. As you know, we pay electricity taxes rates. So it's going to be great for the municipality. It's going to be a catalyst project for further development investment. Richards Bay is the second biggest after Durban. So we believe that it's a right investment, and with a well-class retail facility to serve the community. It's a private investment. Yes, you know, it was, challenges when we started regarding the construction mafia. We were worried, but the support that the police, MEC for Works, MEC for ATA, this assurance that they're giving us, nothing has happened so far with the partnership with City of Mhlathuze, with the Honourable Mayor of King Cetshwayo as well, in terms of the support that they're giving us. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kacheni. I must indicate that everyone promised me 3 minutes, and I think they will keep to 3 minutes. I'm going to call upon 2 speakers. They will come following each other to do their 3 minutes presentation. DevMco Group, represented by Mrs. Shak Thunesen, and it will be followed, DevMco will be followed by SAPI Southern Africa. And for SAPI Southern Africa production team, if you can omit the video, then only project the presentation. I think that will be proper because of time now.
Can you just play the video? Can I go back? Thank you very much, and all protocol observed. Very quickly, we've only got 3 minutes. So we've got 2 big developments in KZN going at the moment. We've got Salt Rock City, which is based in the Greater Ballito area. It's about a 8 billion rand development, which we've started in October last year. We're launching the first phase of the development now on 29th of March, which is a 1.2 billion rand residential development. And hopefully that'll go well, and then we can start construction in June. That the aim is to start construction in June with all the infrastructure required. What I want to talk to you guys today is the Sabaya precinct. So we've acquired the large portion of the Sabaya precinct from Tongaat Hewlett, from the business rescue. And we've got 10 projects we're launching this year within the Sabaya precinct, listed on the board there. They range from shopping centers to hospitals to clinics. We're doing motor dealerships. We're bringing 50% of the people we're bringing in from outside of the province. So we're bringing in national tenants who are not yet in the province, and we're bringing 2 new head offices in. We are also committed with the work with the transport authorities in eThekwini that we will be funding all the external road upgrades for DOT and SANRAL, which is currently with SANRAL for approval. Once that gets approved, construction will start in June, which is about a 250 million rand upgrade to all the roads in the area, the M27, the M4, and the N2 interchanges, which will unlock a great deal of investment around the airport. And then we're also investing in 2 airport hotels, and that will come online next year. So we've got about 4.5 billion that we want to try and execute this year. It's very ambitious. We obviously need a lot of support from the various province officials. And I encourage anyone to come and see us, first to show you what we're doing. And we've got very exciting things. We are heavily invested in KZN. So we will make sure we make it happen for as best we can. Thanks very much.
All protocol observed. I'm Prami Mudley, the SAPI CFO of SAPI Southern Africa. As you would know, last year our CEO invested or committed to 10.9 billion rands for the KZN province. And for those of you that are familiar with SAPI, you would know that 3 of our major operations are located in this province. And we really committed to upgrowing and uplifting this province. We are a producer of dissolving pulp and paper products, for those that don't know. And our site in Ankomas is our largest dissolving pulp site, non-integrated in the world, together with having the largest recovery boiler. We have committed through this 10.9 billion, not only in expanding our plants, but also to improve our profitability, create a lot more jobs within the industry, and to try and commit to all our sustainability commitments that we have committed over the last few years. We recently completed a project, 7.7 billion rands, that saw substantial job creations in that area in the south of Durban. And we're currently in a major shut that we are spending just under 1 billion rands across 3 of our mills in KZN. And this has created under 1,000 employee short-term job creations. I think the fact that the social impact and what we do beyond our projects, to date, we've spent close to 300 million rands around our basin of our operations, which is generally in a 10-kilometer radius, up to a 50-kilometer. And I think that the commitment that we have in terms of all of those projects are expected to be completed over the next 3 years. I think one of the challenges that we have is skills. And that does sort of hamper our progress. But one of the big projects that we spent a couple of 100 millions will be commissioned at the end of this month, where we intend to produce greener energy. Through the shuts, I think on your slides, you can see the number of jobs that we've created. And then finally, I think we need to highlight the fact that all these projects does challenge SAPI in terms of the rail infrastructure that we have in terms of the province. We rely quite heavily on the rail infrastructure as well as the port, and in terms of transporting our raw materials as well as our finished goods. The issue around the shortage of freight trains as well as being able to transport our finished goods to the port results in severe inefficiencies in terms of our operations. And we hope to see improvement around that. Together with the recent announcement around the port privatization, we know there's a court case that's to be concluded at the end of this month. We hope that can be finalized in the best interest of improving efficiencies, not only for SAPI, for everyone else that uses the port. I'd like to say, despite all of these challenges, we are still committed to the investment in KZN, and we hope to make this a world-class province. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Premier. I would like now to call upon stage project number 7, 8, and 9 to come on stage, and that is Tinley Leisure Club Med, which will be presented by Mr. Graham O'Connor, who is the director for the project, NPC Cement, Mr. Wang, and then Defy Appliances, Mr. Hugo, in that order. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Premier, MECs. Welcome to everybody. It's a great privilege to be presenting our project here, which you will see. I've got a couple of slides. If we can just run through those. It's a Club Med South Africa Beach and Safari Resort. The beach resort is at Tinley Manor, which is just some 30 kilometers up the coast, just the other side of Belito. And then the safari, which I'll talk about later, up in the Mkuzi area, which will be, and both will open in 2026. Next slide, please. Oh, yeah, sorry. So the investment itself is a 2.3 billion rand investment for the beach resort, a 250 million rand investment for the game reserve. The consortium consisting of African Bank, the RDC, Collins Residential Consortium, and Absa Bank in their capacity as the funders. The whole idea of Club Med coming was to enhance tourism. And if one looks at Mexico, for example, in Cancun, they put the first hotel that was up there was Club Med. That was in 1990, I think it was. They've now got 267 hotels on the Mexican coastline. So that's certainly an enhancement for KwaZulu coast. And as I said, serving as a driving force for regional growth, and the developer is Tinley Leisure, which we are part of. The beach resort itself is 32 hectares, 1 kilometer of beach frontage, 345 hotel rooms, 66 villas, and a 500-person conference centre. It's got nautical centre, water recreation, sports and leisure, village club, surfing in the sea. So the site itself is a site looking from the north. That's the it's Sharks Point on the left, quite appropriate for a resort. There's a resort being built. This was taken last week. The construction started in March last year. We had a fantastic run last year with the dry weather, so we were able to put up a lot of infrastructure, retaining walls, Loffelstein and the like. And so we're really well organized by the time this rainy season came. The status of the update, as I said, it started, it was committed in September 23, started in March 2024. The soft opening will be in May 2026, and the actual opening will be the 4th of July 2026 next year. Now this is a view from the site looking north on Tinley Manor. And the investment, as I say, is 2.3 billion, and this is just for the beach resort itself. Construction jobs will be 1,500 at peak. The current construction jobs, they're 1,200. When it opens, there'll be 600 jobs and 1,500 indirect jobs. And the most exciting thing for me is that in the present job market, where Grateful is a very marginalized area, there's 700 people from that local community who have got employment there. That's a massive change to that whole economy, which we're very excited about. then just a couple of sites, views of the site. As you can see, 32 hectares, but it's jam-packed. There were 1,000 guests on site when it opened, between the hotel and the villas. Okay, these are some views. Thank you.
Mr. Wang from NPC.
So I don't know. Okay, so thanks for inviting me to update the project, premier. Just now for me, I'm moved, I'm touched to hear what the premier said just now. So I heard, two keywords, sustainability and the localization. So basically, I'm so happy to see that our MPC, let's say, ambition is to fulfill with, what premier said in the sustainability and the localization. So please help me to next page. Next one. Which one? Okay, so basically, I think all this kind of, let's say, basket of projects is, so they are happening now. It's not on the commercial, paper. So you see, basically, the total budget is close to 1.5 billion. So we have, you see, we have several, projects. So to expand our capacity, to improve our efficiency. I think the first is our commitment to the environment to reduce the dust emission. So we have completed the project. So last September, so we have spent 210 million to update the backfitter project. So the second is the budget is 1 billion. So it's ongoing. So we plan to finish, by 31st of May this year. So we have started, since last August. So the third is the EV, the electricity vehicle. So we're going to build a fleet to operate our own quarry by using the modern technology of the EV trucks. So this is okay. So next one. So this is let's say status of the project. So finish it. So you can see the right. So previously we have a heavy dust emission, but you see the. So this picture. So it's quite a clean sky. So next. So this is the construction of the expansion project is ongoing. So we are going to finish it by end of May 2025. So next. So this is the EV trucks, project. So the charging bay is under construction. So the EV are delivered in mid of April this year. Okay, next. Okay, so this is let's say the new aggregate plant in Simua Quarry. So all the equipment will be delivered later April this year. So we're going to finish the project at end of let's say May this year. Okay, next. And also the upgrading of the King number 1. So we're going to finish January 2026. Okay, next. And also the appreciation for the support from the province DTI, from the Minister of the DTI, National DTIC, and especially from the Premier, from the MEC. So you see the right photo is, so we went to the really deep to see so what's going on of the project. So next. Yes, challenges. So we always have the challenges, but I think, please, I think, I beg to move fast, especially for the, let's say, for the electricity supply and for the, let's say, the rail transportations and also like the visas. But, we have discussed a lot. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wang. I'll call up on stage Honourable Premier, Mr. Hugo Kutsi from DeFi. There's no presentation. He's going to do a verbal presentation. Can I also request to come on stage RBM representative, Mr. Mkoketeli Komba, the COO, as well as Mr. Brian Bono from Edison Property to also come on stage. And I request the 3 minutes presentations. Thank you.
Honourable Premier, our various MECs and business leaders, good morning. We had a DeFi video that we was going to show. I don't know if it's still happening. But that being said, firstly, let me say this year DeFi turns 125 years. It is one of the oldest appliance companies in the world. In the last 10 years, DeFi has invested in our products and our factories in KZN over 2 billion rand. Our commitment given by our CEO last year was another 500 million for the next 5 years. That 500 million will be spent on securing our business in terms of updating our machinery, as well as new products that will be launched. As we stand now, we have commissioning taking place of a new door line at our refrigeration factory in Ladysmith. We have a new model that we're launching at the end of March, and there'll be 8 other following throughout the year. So in terms of our model lineup, this is obviously to secure the DeFi name going forward in South Africa and to give our consumers what they require, not just in terms of modern, but also energy efficient models that we will be supplying. Thank you.
This one is go forward. Okay. Okay, you can put up the RBM presentation. Thank you, everyone. Honourable Premier, thank you again for the opportunity for us to come here as RBM. I think last year we committed to an 800 million rand project to rebuild one of our furnaces. So I'm happy to say the work is going on very well. The project is deep into construction right now. Interesting fact is this furnace is actually the largest furnace in the world of its kind. It's an 81 megawatt furnace for smelting ilmenite and is the largest in the world and is found here in KwaZulu-Natal. So the project will actually be complete by August this year, and the furnace will then come into power later on in the year. What is very important to us is about the expenditure of the money around this project. We're very happy to report that about 91% of the expenditure of this project will be done here in the country, with 65% of the funds actually being spent in KwaZulu-Natal with small, to medium-sized enterprises within the province. So it's going very well. And during the construction phase right now, we're actually going to create about 400 jobs. This project is very important to Richards Bay Minerals, as it actually helps us to be able to participate in the growing, a slag market for pigments. So it's going to help Richards Bay Minerals to increase its capacity over the next few years. The furnace is going to last for about 20 years. So it's actually a good sign that Richards Bay Minerals is here for a very long time in KwaZulu-Natal, and we're going to be here for another 50 years. Interesting fact, Premier, is I'm sure maybe next year we'll get your time. Richards Bay Minerals will be celebrating 50 years in the province. It was founded in 1976 in April. And next year we're going to be celebrating 50 years being actively working within the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you.
Ngandi kakhulu ngiprobation ukuthi ngangiphinda ngiplatform mangeqa sekubingeleliwe ngibingelele Ndlunankulu Mphembe kunye nabanye MEC abakhona, HODs, mayors of municipalities. Igama lami ngu Brian Wampono. Umjiva lo ngawunaka kakhulu ukuthi amasudu awasangilingani lapha ekhaya. Mavele ngidonse lapha uma sithola athi bunye babaqoka bangaze bakuhleke. High level ngoba lo shungu ngathi abawufakile lamadoda abantu. Bakwethu si Edison Property Group, mina njengo CEO wakhona nesandla sokuphosa nomsungulo Edison Power, ngizwile kuthiwa kunenkampani celebrate thina sobe sithi 47 kulonyaka prime so Edison Property Group. Oceans North, which is a 1.1 billion rand development, we are looking at completion in August 2025. Jobs created there is 4,500. Then we have Oceans South Tower, which is 1.3 billion, 12,000 direct and indirect jobs there. It's a 20-month project timeline, Babu Premier and the audience. Then we have Oasis Sibaya. In the Sibaya node, kuningi ukuqhubekayo ngapha North Babu Premier, which is 1.2 billion and employing 5,000 people during construction phase. Asigcinile asiphelele kumkhandlu weTheku wamasipala Babu Premier ngenhlana kwaDukuza precinct uDukathole wemall lapha kwaDukuza mall 496 million, but to your comfort and to kwamanye priorities lawa awu 8 ikakhulukazi rebuilding the economy sizo expand to include a value center, so similar to what you see at Springfield Park, sizo yakha laphayana kwaDukuza. That is in terms of an update, Babu Premier and the audience. We are pending bridge widening, subject to development rights to unlock further laphayana, of course we are increasing e-bulk yakhona. I would say a minute and a half. But what's very important is when we gather in these rooms, is that when we show pound for pound what we've done and what we are going to do, I think ngoba khona television la no radio, I think what must be said by a business and Babu Premier ngemisebenzi yami la eZansi over the past 10 years on the Oceans project, the biggest bulk project in South Africa at the moment, 250,000 square meters of bulk. It's very important for us as business to support the policymakers, which is your office, Babu Premier, or what the government doesn't create jobs. They put in policies so that also my business, Jingami, Engi Empowerment Project, Kababu Red, Nina nonke ngaziyo, niyazi, ukuthi siuhlabele umkhosi. Awukho umuzi ongenazi inkinga zakhona. So lo GPU lona uthanda ungathanda uzosebenza, wena put your shoulder to the plow, usebenze la ukhona. And all these projects, Babu Premier, are testament ukuthi wena nobuholi bakho nesifunda saKwaZulu-Natal kunye nomkhandlu Babu Ntuli. Sibonga kakhulu ngoba sisazokwenza lukhulu and show confidence to the rest of the world ngoba ngaphandle ababuki ukuthi ubani ubovu uhlaza uyelo, they just see KZN. Ngibonga kakhulu.
Thank you, Brian. Honourable Premier and members of the Executive Council. That was the progress report on the 10 projects. We will be providing further progress in November during the conference, but also we'll be adding more new commitments in that particular conference. With those words, thank you so much, Program Director. I hand over to you.
Siyabonga, Mr. Ngama, for the presentations, and it is inspiring and gives hope listening to the pipeline projects. And I like the thread that was common across all of them, that already there is work being done. So if you look at the presentations that were made at the investment conference in November, and then 5 months down the line, there's already work that is underway. I would like now to invite the Director General of the province, Dr. Honourable Thamsanqa Ntuli, just to present new investment commitments. Kabazan.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Mr. Mtiane, the Honourable Premier, the Honourable MECs, Councillor Ntuli, all the Honourable Mayors, the Honourable Member of the Provincial Legislature, Honourable Mapisa, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the advisor to the Premier, Mr. Mdaga, the business fraternity, HODs, CEOs, media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Honourable Premier, we would like to indicate that there are investors that have joined us online that could not come physically. They are listening to all the proceedings of today, and they are part of the proceedings. Honourable Premier, you started this journey around the Women Advancement Fund last year when you launched it. And when you launched it, we were at 200 million, which is the money which is completely from the private sector. There's no money from government at the moment. But it's the money from the private sector. When you launched it, it was 200 million. But we are happy to announce that we have now exceeded the 200 million through the commitments that we are going to enlist today. Up to so far, we have received applications that are 3,324, and the applications that we received online electronically are 2,030. The applications that we have received from the municipalities are 1,663, as we're having a partnership with the municipalities where applications can also be deposited. Honourable Premier, we are grateful that you gave a directive that we must extend the closing date, which is now the 31st of March 2025, and we are hoping that more applications will be coming. We are worried about some district municipalities. The numbers are very, very low, but Honourable Premier, we are continuing. There will be 4 teams that will be going to the district municipalities to go and assist women there to be able to apply, so that we leave no women from KwaZulu-Natal behind. Whether it's a woman from a rural area, in the deep rural areas, njengakithi la kusakanywa khona ngehleza eMbumbulu, noma ikuphi, kodwa kufanele bonke ba access. The top 10 business sectors that are targeted, Honourable Premier, the applications that we have gone through so far, it's in agriculture, it's in construction, it's in technology, it's in education, it's the wholesale industry, renewable energy, hospitality, catering, transport, and beauty. Those are the areas. The second part, Honourable Premier, that you also started is around the King Dinuzulu Innovation Fund, which will be launched in June. And we are also going to launch the KwaZulu-Natal Digital Fund for those entrepreneurs that will be in this space. I now humbly request, Honourable Premier, that you come and take a seat here, because you are now going to sign with the investors that are here today. They are going to come here, you sign. But Honourable Premier, I do want to indicate to this august gathering that as the Office of the Premier, we have an agreement with Human Insights that are assisting us in raising the funds and also getting the investors. And they are here represented by Ms. Nomonde Shezi, as well as Dr. Bandile Hadebe. So, Honourable Premier, I humbly request that you come to this table where you will be signing. I'm also requesting Human Insights to come, Nomonde, and then Bandile will follow. We are now going to call the investors. The first one is Huawei. I'm sure they are in the room. Are they here? Huawei, Honourable Premier, they are partnering with us in as far as digital transformation and renewable energy. The smart infrastructure, where they will be establishing a technology experience center. They'll be renting a warehouse, setting up a smart warehouse benchmark. They will also deal with digital skills development. In as far as renewable energy commitment, it's 1 gigawatt solar farm funding and execution as part of the G20 initiative, 2 billion rand in financing instruments for renewable energy infrastructure. Yeah. Okay. The second group is LG Logistics Group in agriculture and community development. There is an investment of 200 million USD to build a state-of-the-art export abattoir in KZN. But there's also 2.5 billion investment in KwaZulu-Natal's cattle farming and export markets. Women-led water infrastructure, the LG Foundation to fund women-owned water processing, bottling and distribution plants, ensuring clean drinking water access for African communities. And there's also community upliftment initiatives and capped funding for healthcare, education and infrastructure development. Andrew, please come. Honourable Premier, I do want to say that in this file, there are letters that have been signed of commitment. So what we are saying here, it's not just a story, serious commitments. And we are not apologetic that we have a bias for women. In all these projects. Yebo. The next one is GHAS properties, and they are not here, but they are represented by Dr. Bandile Hadebe, where they are transforming the built environment, and they have specifically stated that this will be for women in infrastructure. The focus areas: capital infrastructure, large-scale real estate development, smart cities, commercial hubs and industrial zones, mergers and acquisitions, mining and agriculture. And this is an investment of 12 billion on the infrastructure and property development. The next one is Atrafin on infrastructure and renewable energy development, where they are saying the minimum of 50,000 US dollars per funding application, focusing on infrastructure, healthcare, and renewable energy. Atrafin. Okay. We now come to Standard Bank. Standard Bank, enterprise and supplier development for women. 5 million committed for business finance instruments for women. Access to a Standard Bank Basadi program, funding and business support, up to 1 million in funding for women entrepreneurs who complete the Basadi program, and a dedicated advisory support for women business owners. Standard Bank, they were here, I don't know, all right. Absa Bank boosting small business financing, 500 million in purchase order funding for SMEs in KZN, 1.25 million working capital to support Women Advancement Fund initiatives, enterprise supply development program and training access, market access initiatives for small business. Absa Bank, please come. First National Bank, this is Absa signing. FNB, formalizing funding support for women and youth-led enterprises. Okay. Energy Capital and Pemba, Africa. Infrastructure and renewable energy investment. Mobilizing funding to contribute to KwaZulu-Natal's 1 gigawatt solar farm initiative by accelerating the deployment of solar and renewable energy solutions across government buildings, residential areas, and commercial sectors. Skills development, establishing a solar academy to train a renewable energy workforce. Oh, ayisashawa izandla. Lancet Laboratories, advancing healthcare and smart diagnostics, partnering on smart diagnostics and medical technology advancement to improve public healthcare access, developing artificial intelligence-powered medical imaging, automated diagnostics, and remote healthcare solutions, supporting local biotech innovation in collaboration with healthcare research institutions. Lancet Laboratories. They're no longer here, okay. Telkom. Honourable Premier, I must indicate that we are grateful because this is your work. In as far as Telkom is concerned, after your meeting with Telkom, they are here to commit the Telkom Foundation, integrating ICTs into the education system, advancing smart mobility and economic growth, building cloud and cybersecurity in KZN, enhancing public health efficiency, as well as strengthening municipal financial management. Bakone International, the grant aggregation and financial inclusion, global grant ecosystem aggregation, providing KZN women with seamless access to international funding opportunities. Bakone International. Lastly, but not least, Honourable Premier, is Estron Energy. Estron Energy is starting by establishing 10 women-owned fuel garages across KwaZulu-Natal. That's a start. We'll start with 10 and then see how it goes. And then, by the way, women are not a homogeneous group. There are young women. There are women with disabilities. There are rural women. There are women in the townships. There are women that are educated. There are women that are not educated. But this program, Honourable Premier, that you started is inclusive of all women of KwaZulu-Natal. Today, we wanted to ensure that we are implementing the pronouncement by the Honourable Premier when he launched the Women Advancement Fund, as well as the King Dinuzulu Innovation Value. Thank you very much, Program Director.
Siyabonga kakhulu, Director General, for delivering this item meticulously. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to the closing remarks item where I will invite the Premier to come and deliver the official closing remarks for this morning's event. Premier.
Thank you very much, Skangane. I've forgotten the other clan name, which His Excellency Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, Nkosi yaPhinda will refer to you as Sonhlaza. Sohlaza. Oh, Sohlaza. Thank you very much, Sohlaza. Honourable MSCs present, Honourable MSC Kaula or MEC Reverend Zondi or MEC Reverend Telezi or MEC Nomakuku Smelane Mgadi or MEC Rogers or MEC Martin Mayor. Your Worship, the Mayor of King Cetshwayo, Honourable Councillor Dlamini, the chairperson of the portfolio for the Director of Transport, Honourable Mapisa, and acting mayor for this session, I think Actor Sege Pelile, Honourable Councillor Ntuli Mpemba, members of the diplomatic corps, business leaders present here, the Director General, Special Advisor and HODs, the Chairperson of the boards, and the CEOs present, in particular, Mr. Ngamo, and members of the media, police, staff members from our offices, TTGs, everyone present here today. It has been almost a very important day today that we gathered to realize such a progressive, in fact, a journey as the government of Provincial Unity in KwaZulu-Natal. And it inspires really new hope that indeed there are women that are going to realize a turnaround in their lives, and the opportunities have been presented. I know that the youth chief director, Mr. Ntuli, and director, Mr. Ndima, DDG, Dr. Ndlovu, they are all here on a journey to ensure that the youth participate quite constructively and effectively in the economic activities. And I must also thank Ms. Shezi, and I can't remember the second, whether it was Dr. Hadebe, for the role they are playing to ensure that we realize such an important investment to the empowerment and advancement for the women in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. I think the Honourable MEC for Finance is relieved that all the amounts that were highlighted here were not in fact directed to the provincial coffers. It's a very important, in fact, part of our today's program, that we are not talking about ourselves. We are talking about the people out there. Some of them whom they are not aware that we are even talking about them. And we are talking about the future, not of government, but the future of the people of KwaZulu-Natal. And even the job opportunities, part of the job opportunities we anticipate in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, more than 82,000 on the 24 months investment of more than 80 billion were spoken about. In fact, it inspires new hope. I think for abantu balapha esifundazweni sethu, ithuba leli lihle kakhulu ukuthi uNkulunkulu abanikeze lo hulumeni ohleleke ngalolu hlobo lolu. As I've said, I'm quite happy with the rate in which our MECs are hitting the ground running. It inspires hope. And we need to support that journey. It's an important journey, not for ourselves, but for the people of this province. I must also thank His Worship the Mayor of King Cetshwayo and the Mayor of Ulundi, and Her Worship the Mayor of Konyeni, if I'm not mistaken, though I did not see her, but I heard that she was here. in terms of the records. Because to me, this explains that you understand the importance of economic growth in the municipalities where you laid. I think you were able to even identify opportunities. I was saying to the Honourable MEC, Reverend Zondi, because such platforms, really, I don't know how can we ensure that the issue of virtual attendance to such platforms is maximized, so that every person in the province of KwaZulu-Natal will understand the direction in terms of our economic growth and also participate, identify a place or an area of participation. That is quite very important. Even when they plan the IDPs, they will understand the nature of the opportunities that are there. Because indeed, we must work very hard to ensure that we grow our economy. We must work very hard to ensure that we maximize the participation of the local people in the growth of our economy. That is, to me, something that will change the lives of the people of KwaZulu-Natal. I know that everyone who's here today was saying, yeah, there are opportunities. And indeed, I must gun for some of the opportunities. I must thank you, lastly, DG, and the team, in particular, Honourable MEC, Reverend Zondi, Mr. Nkontwane, for all the arrangements towards this important journey. With those words, the day to me was a very important day, and the reflections, I hope, were investing in these reflections for a better KwaZulu-Natal. Let us work together. We cannot walk this journey alone. We cannot succeed alone. Everyone has a role to play. Let us all identify our small roles in our small corners. When put together, they will deliver a prosperous KwaZulu-Natal. They will present a safer KwaZulu-Natal. Let us make our voices resonate in communities where we come from on the positivity and optimism regarding the future of this province. Let us ensure that we activate those that we can influence to stand up and stand together to fight for a better future, to fight crime in our province, to fight corruption in our province. The future is certain. The future is bright, provided we all understand our role and we all stand together to play our role. We are there to support you as government of the 7th administration of provincial unity. We are working together, and I must assure you, this government is stable. This is the most stable government. And I have no doubt, no matter you can hear pronouncements, people saying whatever they dream of, but this government is stable. This government is the future of this province. Thank you very much.
Amazwi okuvala delivered by the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Premier Ntuli. Siyabonga kakhulu Mpemba. I have announcements to make. The Premier did mention that today's event was so crucial and special to him. It is indeed that we started as breakfast, and by the time we leave, we will end with lunch. So you can imagine that it cuts across two daytime timelines. I have announcements regarding our brunch or lunch. So the principals in the table at the front, they will be served right where they are seated. And then the last two tables from the back, we've been requested to proceed to the fourth floor. Lunch has been prepared for us there, and the hotel staff in black will lead us into the fourth floor restaurant. That's the last two rows at the back. That's where their exclusive lunch will be served. And then the remaining tables here, as soon as the principals have been served, we've then been invited to serve in the two main buffets that we have to my left and to my right. Let's go through it once more. So the last two rows will proceed to the fourth floor, and there's already hotel staff that will lead us to the fourth floor. And then the remaining tables, they will remain, and they will get their lunch served on the two serving stations. We have two buffet stations. Thank you so much. DJ, you may give us some music again as we. Yes. Yes. Yes.